Stop joshing.
What?
It should be up in a moment. Stop joshing. Eagles number 2.
Oh, okay.
Now, at the risk of sounding like Kevin Wildes,
What?
one team is still playing,
Yep.
one team is in the Super Bowl, and the other team is not. So it seems to me the Eagles should be second, and the Bills should be third.
Solid.
I mean, right?
from my part.
They're still alive. They got a chance to win the Super Bowl. The Bills don't. All right? And here's the other thing. Defense. Who got the better defense?
Eagles.
Between Philly and Buffalo?
Yeah.
Philly.
Okay. Who's got the better wide receivers?
Eagles.
Better running game?
Eagles.
I mean, James Cook is nice, but there's no.
Yeah.
Better offensive line. Both are good, but
I
Eagles-
would call that almost a wash.
both are good, but I go Eagles. Now, of course, they got the better quarterback
I don't know
in
How about
Buffalo.
How about the coach? Who second winningest
No,
coach?
he's
You
tied with
probably
McDermott.
gives McDermott.
He's literally
yeah,
tied.
if you want to
tied?
tie him,
Yeah, it's
Oh,
in that
we did a
time frame.
okay.
I probably would give McDermott a little slight edge in that.
been to Super Bowl.
But also, here's the other thing. Why this is the final factor in why the Eagles should be ahead of the Bills. And maybe it's just circumstance. They haven't had to play them as much. But like I said yesterday, the Chiefs are not floating around in the back of the Eagles' head.
I don't know, bro.
As like, can we beat this thing? The Eagles believe. Now, they might be wrong, but the Eagles wholeheartedly believe to the point of saying, whoever we play, good luck.
Yeah.
They believe. The Bills would never say that about the Chiefs. They would never be like, good luck.
But they also, to be fair,
'Cause
the
that's
Eagles
a
didn't
factor.
know they were saying that about the Chiefs.
Well,
correct?
he knew he had a 50%
Okay.
chance, all right? So I'm just
Bro,
saying the Eagles
all right.
have to be
No,
second.
but they don't. But here's
it's
why
just
they
common sense.
It's not common
Yeah, I
sense,
like that.
and here's why I know you'll agree with me, bro. There have been plenty of times in NFL or NBA history where the two best teams meet in the conference finals. When the NFC was winning every Super Bowl when I was growing up, Brew was, I think, you know what I mean, at this point, getting his doctorate or
Right,
something.
covering.
Yeah, but covering the league. But when it was Cowboys-Niners or when it was Niners-Giants, those were in the NFC Championship game, those were the two best teams. Then they went on and played in the Super Bowl. There were plenty of times.
I totally agree. I just don't think this is one of those.
Okay, no,
times.
so that's totally fair. The point that I'm making is I just don't think we can just flatly say, because the Eagles are still playing and the Bills aren't, the Eagles are better than the Bills, because in 10 days, the Eagles are gonna play the team the Bills just played. I don't know about you guys. I'm not sure the Eagles are gonna be in the position Buffalo was in. Down 3 with the ball, chance to go win that game.
Neither does Cap.
But
And
so
yeah.
let's say
And
let's say the Eagles lose by a touchdown. Would you take that to mean the Bills are better?
Well, I mean, lose by a touchdown, not necessarily. I guess we'd have to see, you know what I mean, see how that game is played. The point that I'm making is because the brackets are split.
Yeah, no, I
think that there are plenty of times where a team that loses in the conference championship game was the second best team, and I happen to believe that is the case.
Okay. Again, we can't have it both ways because the Bills beat the Chiefs in the regular season by 2 scores, I think it was. And yet we still said that the Chiefs were better than the Bills and those types of statements. So you can't just say, even if the Chiefs beat the Eagles by 2 touchdowns, it doesn't mean that we could be like, aha, because the Rams beat the Bills. Are we saying that the Bills are better or that the Rams are better than the Bills? Like, I don't think anyone really feels that way. Not to mention, I also feel like if we were to, this now ended. Let's just say for some weird, bizarre world, we were like, you know what? There was a mistake. Oh my God. We just found out that the refs are actually, bad. We're going to we have to start the playoffs over again. We got to start the playoffs over again. Let's go. We got to start the matchups again. Here we go. It's Eagles, Packers, round 1, whatever. I guarantee you would have people like Nick saying the Rams are better than the Eagles or something. Like, I guarantee it. So you can't just go by how a game, an individual game unfolds. It's just too specific. It's just one game. That's all it is. That's why, again, in the perfect world, I've talked about this a lot, is that You know, obviously you can't do it in football, but there's a reason why baseball, basketball, etc. are best of 7 and things of that nature, because that is how you get, closer to the truth of where to rank a team. But listen, I do fundamentally think that the Eagles are a better team than the Buffalo Bills. I think they have the better roster. I do think that they even have better coaches at this point. I think Brady is a good coordinator. I do, but I'm a little horrified by the game plan against the Chiefs, quite frankly. The lack of trying to do anything interesting with Josh Allen to set him up in a situation to succeed, anything with the QB sneaks, like I find it horrifying. I really, really do. And Sean McDermott is a good defensive coach. I get it, but like his defenses consistently come up short in the biggest moments. So I see Sean McDermott more, and I think Colin Cowherd said this, so I want to give credit to him. Sean McDermott's just the defensive version of Mike McCarthy, and just a grumpier, more serious version than Mike McCarthy. And I think that's totally valid. I really, really do. So I would even give a coaching edge to the Philadelphia Eagles. Definitely the roster. Now, I do think this is the one take that gets a lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans mad at me. I do think Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. I just do. So that is the one advantage. But if you were going up against the Buffalo Bills, you did not have to have any type of fear that the Buffalo Bills would be more prepared, more ready for the moment, that they were really going to be in a position where Joe Brady was going to outcoach Fangio. And again, this isn't about Sirianni versus Sean McDermott. I'm looking at the people who are really coming up with the game plans, really looking at, how is this game going to unfold? It's going to be Kellen Moore versus Sean McDermott, not Sean McDermott versus Nick Sirianni. It was going to be Brady versus Fangio. Like that's what it was really going to be more than anything. It's Jalen Hurts. It's Josh Allen versus Fangio, not Josh Allen versus Jalen Hurts. It's just not. As much as people try to keep making it out to be, it's just not what it is. And so that's how you get closer to figure out, how do we evaluate this team? Who's better? And I do think fundamentally that the Philadelphia Eagles have the better roster. They've proven to be more prepared, more consistently, and have just been playing higher quality football. And I think that offense would have been able to completely just attack that defense, Now, I do think Josh Allen would have found his way through some of that Philadelphia Eagles defense, but not in a way where you were like, oh my God, that is a game plan. Masterclass by Brady, man. What an awesome game plan. I just don't think that would happen. Now, going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, I do think that's possible. I've been saying this now since we knew that it was going to be the Eagles versus Chiefs. Like, to me, this is so much more than, I've been trying to figure out how to phrase this, and I'm going to talk about it in again, other follow-up videos, and I'll probably have to say it like a million times because we're only talking about the Eagles and the Chiefs right now. But the way how I see the Eagles going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, I think the Eagles have the better roster, right? I think the Eagles absolutely have the better roster. And I think, of course, that the Kansas City Chiefs have the better quarterback, but I think the Kansas City Chiefs also have the better coaches. I think Spags is amazing. I think Andy Reid is amazing. So I think there's really no way that I think that the Philadelphia Eagles will be able to outcoach the Kansas City Chiefs. I just do not think that that's possible. I just don't. So it's like, if the Chiefs win, and if the Chiefs win convincingly, it'll be just because the Spags defense was able to completely disrupt the Philadelphia Eagles offense, and Andy Reid is able to just completely disarm and get after, Fangio's defense. It's not going to be because of the heroics of Travis Kelce and the heroics of Mahomes. I do not see that happening. Now, on the flip side of the Philadelphia Eagles, I think that it's possible that the Philadelphia Eagles roster itself is just too much. That the sheer manpower of that team, right? The sheer intensity of a Jalen Carter, of Saquon Barkley in that O-line, with A.J. Brown, with Devontae, with Dallas Goedert, with Jalen Hurts. It's not going to be because of Kellen Moore's brilliant game plan that just finds that just exposes Spags' defense. I do not see that happens. It would really just be when they say the X's and O's versus the Jims and Joes or whatever the heck the corny thing is. Like, that's more relevant to me from the Philadelphia Eagles, which is why throughout this whole season, everyone kept saying the Philadelphia Eagles have the best roster, and they're not saying that about the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the one flip side of that is there something that Fangio, to me, Fangio is kind of the X factor here. Is it possible that Fangio, because he is that defensive coordinator that is, you know, the defensive mind that has been around the NFL for literal decades and decades, you know, does he have something with this high level Philadelphia Eagles defense that would be able to disrupt the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid? Even if just a little bit, you know, is there that possibility? But again, if the Philadelphia Eagles are able to disrupt the Kansas City Chiefs, especially, you know, Eagles defense on the Chiefs offense, to me, it's going to be more just because of the sheer talent that the Eagles have. You know, they're just hitting those guys harder. That dislodges the ball from being caught, right? They're actually getting to Mahomes and disrupting him and forcing him to kind of have to, you know, scramble. Like, it's just going to be more of that attack. It's really going to be more about the men on the field than anything. With the Chiefs, to me, it's going to be so much more about the game plan. Just even look at the game plan against the Buffalo Bills. You can see how much guys were wide open, even to ice that game. I forget who Mahomes threw it to, but just even that was just like a beautiful, perfect play call, beautiful play call design. And it was just, you know, they were able to essentially walk in to convert that 3rd and long, and boom, game over. Or even just having Patrick Mahomes walk in for a touchdown. There were so many walk-in moments. The Buffalo Bills didn't have a single walk-in moment. That's coaching. That is coaching. So it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be fascinating. Hopefully that made sense. And if it didn't, I'm going to repeat it another 7 times leading up to the Super Bowl, if not more. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles being the third best team, even though that they are one of 2 teams in the Super Bowl? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.